Yeah, so Camar Wheaton is really the only running back that Oklahoma has been heavily recruiting over the last, I don't know, 2 or 3, 4 months. And depends on what recruiting service you look at, number one or number two overall running back in the country, top 15, top 20, 25 overall ranking, 247 in Rivals was very heavily towards Oklahoma really over the last couple of months. Nothing has really changed. Hadn't talked to Alabama in about, from everything that I'd heard, hadn't really talked to Alabama in multiple months. And I know some Oklahoma fans that certainly follow recruiting very heavily remember the Jace McClellan um, saga from last year. Actually committed to Oklahoma for a couple of years, and then late kind of turned to Alabama, which in mop up duty this year has done really well. He's been really the third guy behind Harrison and Robinson at Alabama. So he's going to challenge for that starting spot next year. But in terms of Wheaton, like I said, it's been strong for Oklahoma. Really, when you look at kind of from a crystal ball projection perspective over at 247, he's been really 100%. Well, early this morning, Steve Wiltfong, the director of recruiting, had Oklahoma at about an 8 from a confidence perspective. He dropped them down to 1, and now he's switched it over to Alabama. Now there's a few others, insiders on the Alabama side, have went ahead and made their commitment to projection for Alabama. So I think Oklahoma overall is still around 70 from a likelihood percent perspective, but things are a lot more. Things are trending the wrong way for Oklahoma. Specifically, TJ Pledger has entered the transfer portal as well. Ramondre Stevenson. He is a senior. He could come back. He's only really played, kind of interesting, he's only played 16 games in a Sooner uniform, and he is, he is a senior from a JUCO perspective, so he could come back. So if Oklahoma's not able to get Wheaton here, and they lose Pledger from a transfer portal perspective, and Stevenson opts out, or not opts out, but elects to go ahead and go to the NFL, it doesn't look good from a running back depth perspective, next year, specifically into the future. So it'll be interesting to see if they're not able to get Wheaton today with his commitment, I think at 5 p.m. Central Time this evening. If they're not able to secure that, does Oklahoma go, look at more of the JUCO route, or maybe the transfer portal themselves for some running back depth?